instead of chug along on my feet. It doesn't take me any place near that long, but it's nice to have. We've just been away for a couple weeks. My son just went down and mowed the lawn down at the cottage, and actually mowed the lawn here at home as well. He's a very good guy, and that helps a lot. But got to get back at it. Because it's been so wet, every week or even 5 days we've got to mow.
Yeah, I don't do it quite that often. Maybe every 2 weeks I let it get up a little bit. I don't want to scalp the ground, you know. Around here when it gets dry, and we're supposed to get into the hundreds this coming week, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I had a friend once upon a time from, I think it was Victoria, Texas. He said that they, it's just a little different from what it is up here. He said that he was into flowers. He said they had 2 planting seasons down there, one in the spring, one in the fall, and in between it was just hot and nothing grew. So I sort of hear what you say. We pretty much plant in the spring, actually about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I guess, and it lasts us through the whole year.
KC5CZX. Well, when I lived in Reno, we had the joke around there that in that neighborhood there's only 2 seasons there too, winter and construction.
That's sort of the way it is here. It gets hard to get across the city once in a while. This time of the year sometimes, just even trying to figure out how to do it. So yeah, it's a challenge.
Well, I lived in Reno for about 10 years, and that's one of the first things I noticed about that neighborhood. And the other thing I noticed is it's cold around there for about 9 months of the year. And, and the way it works out there is it's cold until one day it gets hot. Then it stays hot until one day it gets cold. And that's just the way the temperatures work there.
Yeah, some years it feels like we don't get a spring or a fall too, although this year is not like that at all. We've got a somewhat elongated spring because it's been cool, but I'm ready for a little bit of, reasonably hot, some string in the 80s. We've had some days in the 80s, but they don't last long, a day or two, and then it's back down into the 60s or even lower 70s, but ready to have some summer. Hopefully it comes soon.
Well, unfortunately, my neighborhood here is notorious for high temperatures lasting for days and days and days, months and months, actually. I think we have a 115-day record of over 100 degrees. So, this area around here gets hot, and it just stays that way. Go ahead.
This is KE2CST. Yes, I know what you mean. My daughter lives in Florida, and that's pretty much what it is by this time every year in Florida. In fact, the summers in Florida are like the winters here in that you pretty much don't go outside unless it's to get in the car and go to the mall or someplace like that, and then get in the car and come back home. But it's really almost too hot to just sit outside most of the time, which is what the winters are like here, except it's not hot, it's cold.
And the other difference is up here, it's a dry heat. There's no humidity or hardly any humidity here recently after the rains. When the heat picked up, the humidity started coming out, and we are just not used to that. But on the Florida coast area, that's common. It's saturated down that way, and that's what makes a sticky hot, and that's the kind of hot I don't like.
Yeah, Daryl, I agree with you on that. I'm the kind of guy who perspires quite a bit, and you get down to that sticky heat. I mean, it's just, my shirt is wet almost all the day. Actually, I don't see them that often, that time of the year. We'll go down in March to see them typically, and that's a great time of year to be down there. But you're right, when it's hot, man, it's hot, and it's sticky down there. It's really sticky.
Well, you know, in my time in the service, we pulled into Abu Dhabi and Dubai a few times, and I always made the joke that you could leave the boat completely refreshed in a clean uniform or, you know, clean clothes and nice and neat and pretty, but as soon as you got off the brow, you were just dripping in sweat, and that is true.
Yeah, that's not a lot of fun. Thank you for your service, by the way, my friend. You folks who serve the country are very important, even though you're not always treated as important as I think you should. But I think you know, I know that I, at least, am very grateful to your service. My wife and I just got back from Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. Of course, a little higher there. I'm about 600 feet here. And back in that area, they're about 6,000 feet at the lowest, and again, of course, we were up to 10,000, almost 11,000 feet at one spot. So it's a lot higher there. It's been similar temperatures in the 60s, 70s. We had a couple of days when it got up to 80, but it's not too wet. We were there for almost 2 weeks, and we only saw rain a little bit on one day. But it's a nice place to be. Go ahead, Daryl.
Well, you know, my family and I used to make little journeys up to South Lake Tahoe. We had a ham friend up there in South Lake Tahoe, and we'd go see him and spend the weekend there and go walk around the woods around his house and enjoy the nice weather that they had at the lake. So I do know what you mean by escaping the heat, especially when Reno got to be really broiling. Hot August nights was no joke. When they say hot August nights, they're not lying. Go ahead.
KE2CST, yeah, when it's hot, and when it's not, I guess, but boy, it gets really, really hot in certain parts of this country, and I guess it's only going to get hotter as time goes on, but you know, you do what you can, and you hopefully adapt, and you survive it as best you can, I guess.
Sir, yes, sir. Well, I'm just here playing on a little homebrew node that I set up running on battery backup. But it is now time for me to say 73s to you there, Pete. It's time to go to work, unfortunately. Got to go play the game.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to pay the bills, and I guess right now it's you. So it's just what you got to do, Daryl. But I did that a lot of years myself. So 73s to you. Have a great day. And this is KE2CST. I'll be listening.
73, sir. Have a good day. KC5CZX, Daryl here in Wolford.